a green advisory group was set up in the department to come up with recommendations around how we improve operations, make them greener. And they had a wiki page, and it wasn't long before other people that weren't directly involved with the group started putting recommendations up. And some of those recommendations are really, really useful and interesting. So this idea of harnessing that collective intelligence is, something that we're looking at really closely. I think that's a great idea. We just have to figure out how to do that.
Now, is that collective intelligence within the organization, or did you also involve people who are outside?
Right now, everything we're doing is kind of internal. There are some other interesting projects at the Government of Canada level. There's this thing called 1,000 Ideas. It's an IT, really a knowledge sort of suggestion box type of approach, and people are putting in from across all of the government departments. I'm not in Canada.
That's all right. You sort of are. I mean, I can see you there.
Okay, so from across government, really ideas on how to improve IT in government, and it's getting overwhelming response. And I think I would almost say a little too overwhelming, because then they have all these ideas that they have to go through the organizing group. But I think it's kind of the first edge of the wedge. This is something that will happen more and more, and I can't help but think this is all going to be externally focused in the future. We'll start to think about how do we tap into those communities out there, the environmental communities and the business communities, where we're trying to solve real policy.
How do you filter that too? How do you manage all that communication? That's quite a lot.
And how do you make sure that the policies are in place and that we conform to all the government policies, but at the same time have that filtered communication? I think the one thing that I've learned about these tools is that it's amazing how much people self-regulate. In fact, you don't need to filter that much, because people, are generally they're civil, and they want to make a point, and they want to be heard, and they don't necessarily.
Go ahead. No, I love it. This is great content.
Well, and I think a lot of the frustration that you see sometimes, and sorry.
Yeah.
I won't talk about that. With a lot of the frustration you see from citizens and constituents, a lot of it is because it's very hard for them to be heard, and they go through email channels and all these different things. But to be able to have somebody go and ask them, how should we resolve the climate change issue, or how should we improve the economy, and in a lot of ways we're opening a dialogue. And I think it's really important. I think the government's trying to get there, but it's a big culture change.
That's really interesting. So the culture within your organization, you don't find that people are too shy or afraid to contribute at all? They are all...
Well, the biggest, if you're talking about internally,
there are various...
we kind of, when I talk about it, or when we talk about it like being dropped into the middle of Serengeti. Like the wiki is kind of like this open space, and a lot of our...
That's a good way to put it.
and a lot of our employees are finding there's an adjustment there, and other ones love it. So we have that, but it's interesting. It's actually good that you have a cultural dynamic where people on both sides of the issues are at least dialoguing about how do they write information, how do they share information. So you do have. If there's anything that's, I would put that on the top of the list as the biggest challenges we face with rolling out these tools in government is this culture change. It's a slow burn. It takes a long time for culture to change. Really, really long time.
That's a really great point. Okay, well, and with that, thanks so much, Peter Cowan.